Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition for the first time this year, actually, of the StarCraft Evolution League number 7. I'm, of course, your host, VIP, with you. I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, by with plushies as well. Welcome one and all to something a little bit different, to StarCraft Evolution. Welcome to a mod in StarCraft 2, which does pit Brood War versus StarCraft 2. They go face to face, they go back and forth, and we are here to jump in once again. We did cast the entire league and the weeks leading up to the league last year in 2024. We took a bit of a break, but now we are back. We are back in full swing and full force in 2025, as this event has returned as a monthly tournament. Let's go in. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Citadel, we have the Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the orange Terran player representing Hokago T-Team. It is ZaRDieNT. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gambit time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as you get your Gambit going, as you place your bets. Coming into this, I'll be honest. First things first. 4-player spawn map. 4-player spawn map. And Gerald immediately goes to the cross spawn location, trying to get a read on what's going on. And of course, ZaRDieNT is playing Brutal Terran, and Gerald is playing SC2 Protoss. Just as a heads up, as a reminder, Gerald is playing his main race, ZaRDieNT is not. And I'll be honest, this is my first time casting ZaRDieNT in StarCraft Evolution. I've casted ZaRDieNT before in StarCraft 2. He's a very solid player, of course, in the European region. But here in StarCraft Evolution, I'm less familiar with him. I don't know how he compares. I don't know how he shapes up. I know that Gerald is decently well versed in this mod. He has played in SEL before, but he wasn't quite able to make a deep run in the full championship. We'll see how he compares, though. I do favor Gerald coming into this, but I also don't really know what we're going to be getting into here with ZaRDieNT, as we're opening up with a 3 racks. Let's go. 3 rack setup here by ZaRDieNT. Likewise, Gerald back at home, still just scouting his opponent, trying to get a feel for what's happening. He scouts top left, bottom left, and now he's moving out towards top right. He's trying to figure out where exactly ZaRDieNT is. ZaRDieNT has also, he has scouted, he sees, immediately has eyes on Gerald. So ZaRDieNT is aware. As we said, Lincoln says a big shout to John X Cruz in the chat. Gab, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the subscription. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy the casting party. Oh my god, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it. And again, it's great to be back. It's great to be back here for StarCraft Evolution. Again, we haven't had an SEL since last year. We have been casting some show matches with StarCraft Evolution, like the Ducklings Showdown and the Latin American showdowns as well. So we have been casting some show matches, but no straight up tournaments, not in quite some time. So I'm ready, I'm excited. As a reminder as well, StarCraft Evolution has returned. It used to be a bi-weekly, now monthly. Now it's going to be a monthly tournament instead. So once a month we have a big bracket, as we see here before you. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves. We'll be going over the bracket ourselves after this series. We'll get there. We will get there. Meanwhile, Adept does shade into the main, picking up a Marine so far. Not bad. It does get a Marine. Behind this, massing up more bio here. Stim is on the way from the Academy. And the initial Adept is going to be forced out. I say that does actually shade back into the middle line, getting 1 Marine. 1 Marine does fall. Just the one, though. Gets a full scout. It does get eyes on most of the racks. Gets eyes on the upgrades that are on the way. Interesting. And Gerald, he's going for a proxy Dark Shrine. Bold move. So Twilight Council opener into Blink into DTs across the map. We'll see if ZaRDieNT is able to respond in time. I'm a little bit concerned. Of course, there is 0 detection. No comstat stations yet. We're waiting for the detection. They're waiting for those comstat stations. Without them, there's no scan. Without a scan, without a turret, without detectors, I'm going to be that much more concerned here for ZaRDieNT. Again, with a 3x, there's no factory, there's no starport, there's no science vessel, no detectors yet. And the Dark Shrine is about to finish. Oh, no. Is this how the story ends? The Bio Army does stim across up, does catch 1 Stalker. Not bad. 1 Stalker goes down. Nice stutter stepping here out of ZaRDieNT, chasing down Gerald. And ZaRDieNT may just be forced into an all-in. As there's zero detection. There's no scan. There's no scan. There's no detectors. There is no turret. There's no nothing. There we go. First, it's on the way. Comsat station's on the way. He needs more time, though. He does need time for the scan. And here comes the Dark Templar. Comsat station. It might just be too late here. It's going to finish up in a couple of seconds. The bio armies across the map. Back at home, it's anything to defend. There's a couple of Marines. Only a couple, though. And here we go. It's all or nothing. DTs are revealed. SV is going to be going down. He sims in. He sims. But there's force fields. A couple of good force fields. All we need. Shuts down the bio army. Cutting it in half. Or into pieces. And oh god, the DT is just wreaking havoc here. SCVs are going down both in the main and at the natural. Once again, he sims in. Oh no! Does get caught out by the force field. Shield Battery's putting in a lot of work as well. And Gerald, he holds. Gerald, he's going to hold on. He's going to shut this down. Does blink back here to the Shield Battery. There's 3 Marines remaining. Down to 2. Down to 1. And across the map, the DTs, the one was dealt with, thankfully, by the turret. But there's one more DT here at the natural. And again, scans are very limited. Oof. Yeah, 2 more shots. Up. Does go down. Getting more SCVs. Behind this, Gerald, he gets away with his third base. The third base is left alone. He gets 12 SCVs across the map. And this is out of hand. This has already gotten out of hand. This is game-ending damage. ZaRDieNT forced into an all-in store because they come in. There's no medics. Oh, there's no medics. There's no medics to support. GG gets called. And Gerald, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Gerald, he will take lead in the series. And ZaRDieNT, he's up against the wall here. Again, just a brutal start to go into those Dark Templar. Again, ZaRDieNT, he had 0 detection ready. He eventually got a turret. He eventually got some comsat stations, but by then already just crippling damage. Just crippling damage was dealt. We saw that ZaRDieNT was able to sim across the map, but again, force fields were all that Gerald needed. He shut down the push, shut down the army. GG. GG, well played. Whew. With that, Gerald takes the lead. 1 more game, and Gerald, he will advance on into the next round. We'll get there. Again, he does have an opponent waiting for him, so we'll get to the brackets after this series. For now, we're focusing on the the PvT before us here. And we'll see what map is chosen for game number 2. We shall see. But again, thank you, John X. Thank you. Thank you. Senor Cruz. Gracias. Gracias. It's a student out here. Yeah, I didn't even get to talk about it, but yes, there was like a heavy rain effect on that map as well. The rain, the thunder. But here we go. Jumping into game número 2. And oh, it's one of my favorites. We're going to be loading into Monty Hall. Now, for those of you who have not experienced StarCraft Evolution before, you've been missing out, papi, is all I can say. But Monty Hall is a pseudo-island map and can lead to very unusual, very unorthodox games, which is what we love about it, which is what we appreciate about it. Let's go. And you'll understand what I mean by pseudo-island map once we get into it. You'll understand. Pleasure to have some StarCraft Evolution again. Yeah, I've missed it. I've missed it for sure. Like, we've had like a sprinkling of StarCraft Evolution in January, but only a sprinkling. Like, we casted the show matches with MC, we casted the show matches with Hon Mono, and we did cast a best of 7 show match between, or best of 5 show match even, between 3 Point and Hon Mono. But yeah, that's all we really had, really, in January. So it's been a while. Has been a while. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Monty Hall. We have the Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. Oh, the Blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone, leading the series 1-0. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Brood War Terran player representing Hokago T-Team. It is ZaRDieNT. Gerald didn't know. Gerald, unfortunately, he actually didn't know the rule set, but yes, maybe I should reiterate this as well. The way this format works, the way this Tournament X that Gerald shaking my head. Oh, now he knows. Now he knows. But it is forcing only Brutal versus SC2. We do not play out Brutal versus Brutal or SC2 versus SC2. And now Gerald has realized the map that he's loaded into. Again, I mentioned that we have seen Gerald play this before, but it looks like he doesn't really have a lot of experience, so he's kind of playing on the fly. This is what I mean by pseudo island map. What I mean by that, you are completely walled in. You're walled in by these middle patches towards the north, towards the center, towards the south as well. So you're completely walled in. Now, it only takes one worker to mine through the gold patch, so I don't think Gerald knows that. But only takes one worker to mine through this gold patch to gain access to your expansion, so you can expand quite freely here, but you have to mine through these mineral patches to actually have units to pass through. So that is something that Gerald has to work on if he does want to reinforce. Likewise, you can also intentionally leave these areas unmined to make sure that your opponents cannot harass you from these locations. And both players have options to see how they want to expand. Likewise, you can work or scout by mining through the gold minerals and of course getting in, but ZaRDieNT does actually wall off this northern or this center location. So he is walling off the center. Gerald, he expands towards the south, towards the bottom side. And now that we kind of enter our openers here, we have, relatively economic starts. We do have a Rax into Factory first from ZaRDieNT, bear that in mind. Delayed CC for the Terran player. But on top of the fact that it takes, there are different routes to enter the main base, what I should say is that each of these routes, each of these kind of entry points, leads into an entire lane that is walled off. As you can see here, there are giant cliff faces that are cutting this area off, so we have entire lanes here segmented from each other. You can actually, I believe, go through some of these locations with Colossus. I think some Colossus can actually traverse through some of this, if not only drop play, right? Like Medevacs and War Prisms and Drop Lords are a way to go from one to the other, one lane to the other. Otherwise, they're completely isolated from each other. And of course, air units they can traverse. Speaking of air units, we are playing this out like an island map. We have 2 starports on the way. Double starport production here. Academy as well. There's a hidden starport on the left-hand side. Checking the hallucination. Gerald, he has only seen one. He saw the 111. He did not see the second starport. Are we going into Mass Wraith? What's the plan? We have the control towers on the way. Yep, there we go. Mass Wraith in production. Now, I believe the Wraith was adjusted in the most recent patch. There was a patch a couple of days ago for StarCraft Evolution. And I believe the Wraith cloak upgrade is now, I want to say, more accessible. I want to say it's faster. Or, sorry, I should say, I think initially you didn't have to research cloak and now you do. I might just actually open up the patch itself. Hold on. It's probably good if I just open up the patch. Because again, there was a patch a couple of days ago, as the Wraith is spotted, initially. Now, the Wraith is almost like the Brood War equivalent of a Banshee, almost. I will say its anti-ground attack is still very weak. It's much weaker. Like, the Banshee ground attack is actually pretty powerful in comparison to the Wraith. So it's similar to the Banshee, but not quite the same. So I'm just opening up the patch notes. Just opening up the patch notes here for the Wraith. As we do dive in, we threaten a dive. Cloak gets activated. Alas, there is no detection. We can actually get more damage done, but there is a shield battery. Yeah, there's a shield battery in position. Shield battery here at the natural as well. And the shield battery, ooh, one probe does fall, but the shield battery is enough to keep the workers alive. Yeah, Observer is now on the way, being chronoed as we speak. Shield battery is just too powerful here in the race. They do nothing. They get one probe kill. That's all they get. I guess fun fact, 2 Banshees one-shot probes. So, I mean, that's why Banshees, they have a greater anti-ground attack and they can harass these mineral lines in a bit of a stronger fashion. These Wraiths cannot. It takes a little more to one-shot workers, I should say. Observer has arrived. And the Wraith backs up. Behind this, getting to the rest of our upgrades. Wraiths rotating over towards the main. And there we go. Now we can start one-shotting. There we go. One. Oh, as long as we line up our shots. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Probes going to be going down. Nice damage so far. Still amassing up more race, by the way. Now expanding towards his point. Oh, no. But Gerald, he goes to the counterattack. Goes to the base trade. Is losing probes back at home. But across the map, he commits. Meanwhile, Scan to take down the Observer. Nicely done. Observer does get sniped. No more detection. And we are one-shotting probes. At the same time, Stalkers, they dive into the natural, and there's nothing at home to defend. Uh-oh. The base trade is in full force. And I did just check, yes, it was in the latest patch that Cloak research time was reduced, and the cost was also reduced as well. So Wraiths, they have been buffed in the recent patch. Despite that, though, workers are going down, and this is becoming critical damage. 14 probes do fall, but meanwhile, Gerald keeps popping off across the map. 9, 10, 11 probes falling. ZaRDieNT, he races back home to defend. Cloak is running out. And this is getting out of hand. ZaRDieNT down to 10 SCVs, down to 9, down to 8. 8 SCVs remaining. The race, they will be able to barely hold on thanks to the Cloak. But GG, yeah, there's just nothing else left here. There's no economy. 8 SCVs remaining, and Gerald, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played. I will link the patch notes in the chat. Here you go. We'll link the patch notes. Just for those that are curious as to the most recent changes of StarCraft Evolution. But congratulations, Gerald, he will advance on into the round of 16. My condolences to ZaRDieNT here. I appreciate that ZaRDieNT did try something different. He was going Mass Wraith, and again, Mass Wraith, or Wraiths in general, were buffed in a way. It was made a little bit more viable to research into Cloak and commit into Cloak as well. But despite that, he had no ground army. He was caught with his pants down. Gerald with a massive counterattack, caught him off guard. GG. GG, well played. I'm sure he was hoping that maybe Gerald would be more defensive. Alas, was not. And with that, Gerald will advance on, and the question becomes, who is his opponent? Let's find out together. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Let's switch our scenes over and have a look together here.